This book is coming to my life at an intriguing time. This particular moment, I feel like I keep missing opportunities to grow and move forward in my purpose. I've always made good money, but at a cost, being a worker. In his book, Hip Hop Preacher, Dr. E.T. Address, he speaks on how throughout generations his families was always workers. And when I say workers, I mean general laborers. That was keys to his family providing instead of education. And this was highly relatable because I saw my dad do the same, manual labor to provide. School was never really an important factor of me growing up. I ain't seen nobody passionate or driven about education. My older sister went to college, but honestly, it never felt like it was for education from my perspective. It felt like she was just trying to escape Philly and my crazy family. All the excitement and support was behind my brother, who, went to the Olympics and did his thing in boxing, and it had the potential to change our lives in so many ways it did. As I'm sitting here thinking about it, the past, I have a better understanding why education was never so important to me as a youth. It's funny though, because generally I'm very curious. I love to learn about different cultures, reading, self improvement, mentally, and all that kind of good stuff. I'm always trying to grow in different levels. I guess you could say the second half of my life is kind of a educational experience, a self educational experience. But back to the book. Being a worker instead of education has always put me in a box that I kind of hate. It is stealing so much time from me and killing so much potential that I feel like I have, which also talks about also what Dr. E.T. talks about in the book. He speaks on growth and how anything that doesn't grow will die, and how growth is painful and not growing is just as painful but in different ways. You feel me? So I just feel like being a laborer and a worker my whole life has always robbed me of my potential on growing in certain ways that I would like to develop. You feel me? One of the questions in the book was, what do you want out of life? What's your goals? What will make you feel fulfilled? And I'm asking y'all in the comment section what you want out of life. What will make you feel fulfilled? And if you did know, what did you want? Do you know how to attain it? Now, this is something that I struggle with because I have a passion for a lot of things, but I'm not 100% sure what's my purpose. I always hear people tell me I should be a therapist. Shit, even my therapist tell me I should be a therapist sometimes. I definitely want to help. I see a lot of young men out here making bad decisions or decisions that I wouldn't necessarily agree with. And I want to help them get on that corrective path, but I don't want to come off like I'm preaching. So this book definitely asks some questions that I'm not really fully ready to answer. But if y'all are, y'all definitely could let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Another part that I thought was interesting was how he talked about being in these big business meetings where decisions is made and how sometimes ideas might seem crazy but turned out to be extremely successful. Like one of the ideas the hip hop preacher heard was about trading sneakers online, and he thought that was crazy. Like, come on now, who gonna go online and try to trade sneakers? Everybody go to the store. But the meeting that he was a part of ended up being StockX, which is a $1 billion company right now. I'm sure y'all know who that is. And another thing that he talked about was even in your moment of greatness, you got to remember your why. Now you hear all these stories of people being successful and losing everything. Sometimes we work hard to change our situation, but we forget the reason why we was there in the first place. Once we make it, them ideas or their perspective change, and we lose ourselves in the money, the fame. It transforms us into something we never wanted to be, or lose that hunger and drive that got us there in the first place. So one thing he talked about was remembering your why and always keeping you grounded and humble in your biggest moment of success. And that'll keep you on the right path. And I thought that was really dope and really entertaining. Another part of the book that I really enjoyed. And one of the things that I could relate to the most in this book is one of his videos. It took over 3 years to come to take off the way it did. And being a person that's been doing content for years and not really breaking through, it's motivational. Sometimes it takes only one video. But Dr. E.T. speaks on being in miracle territory, being ready and prepared for the opportunity that'll come your way. And trust me, this coming from a person that's missed a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different chances. But with many different opportunities, he took advantage of them. When he first got his chance to do a video, he did it passionately. He did it with love and he did it with sincerity. And that video translated to millions of peoples, and that's why it was able to take off the way it did. And I'm always saying, if I could just help one person, man, all of this stuff and money that I spend on trying to do this content, it really be worth it for me, man. I love the book. It was pretty long-winded. The only thing I didn't like, and the only thing that I struggle with is connecting to the spirituality side of it. But That is nothing against the book. It's just something personally within me that I'm working for. Don't get me wrong. I pray, I meditate, and I do all that. But sometimes it's just hard for me to connect from that aspect. And me and my brother, the champ, we get into it all the time about it. But it ain't personal. It's I love you, bro. It's just sometimes it's just hard for me to connect from that aspect because all the spirituality that's rooted in me come from a negative place in a lot of different times. But that's neither here nor there. I love the book. It's very motivational. You can hear some real aspects for somebody that made it. I definitely give it like a 4 out of 5. If y'all want to check it out, definitely do that. But I love the book. Dr. E.T., keep doing your thing. This Pito, and I'm out. Appreciate you.